The date is March 7th, 2026, and the world is realizing that it wasn't the missiles over Tehran that would change their lives. It was a 21-mile stretch of water called the Strait of Hormuz. Imagine waking up to find your bank account frozen, your local petrol station bone dry, and the cost of a simple loaf of bread doubling overnight. This isn't a dystopian novel. It is the reality of the Hormuz Trap. As the smoke clears from the initial strikes of Operation Epic Fury, a terrifying silence has fallen over the world's most vital energy artery. For the first time in modern history, the heartbeat of the global economy has stopped. Tonight on Power Politics, we aren't just talking about maps and munitions. We are talking about the moment the global gears ground to a halt and the desperate human cost of a world that suddenly ran out of time. To understand the gravity of this moment, you have to look at the geography of fear. The Strait of Hormuz is the world's most important choke point, a narrow gateway through which 20% of the world's petroleum and a third of its liquefied natural gas must pass. But as of 48 hours ago, that gateway is a kill zone. The IRGC has activated Project Harpoon, saturating the shallow waters with thousands of smart minds that can distinguish between a fishing boat and a Western tanker. The U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet is facing a nightmare scenario. They have the firepower to destroy any ship on the surface, but they cannot shoot a minefield hidden beneath the waves. Every captain of every commercial vessel in the Gulf now faces an impossible choice: stay docked and watch your crew starve, or sail out and risk a watery grave.
While the military analysts talk about deterrence, the world's stock markets are screaming in a language of red numbers. Brent crude oil has defied every prediction, surging past $180 and kenny touching the $200 mark. This isn't just a number on a screen. It is a shockwave that travels from the trading floors of New York to the small-town farmer in India. When oil hits $200, the world becomes a very small, very expensive place. Global logistics chains, already fragile after years of tension, are snapping. Shipping giants like Maersk have officially declared force majeure, canceling all routes through the region. The math is simple and brutal. Without Hormuz, the modern world does not have enough energy to keep the lights on. We are witnessing the first truly global economic cardiac arrest.
In response to the blockade, the Pentagon has unleashed a weapon that sounds like science fiction: the Lucas system. These are low-cost, unmanned, autonomous submersibles, hundreds of robotic sharks programmed to swarm the strait and hunt for Iranian mines and mini-subs. But there is a chilling human element to this tech war. Behind every Lucas drone is a 20-year-old operator in a dark room in Nevada, playing a high-stakes game of search and destroy, while millions of lives hang in the balance. The Iranians have countered with their own suicide swarms, remotely piloted speedboats filled with explosives. It is a war of machines, fought in the silent depths, but the consequences are being felt by every parent wondering how they will afford to heat their home this winter. Nowhere is the human emotion of this crisis more visible than in the glittering skylines of Dubai, Doha, and Abu Dhabi. These cities, built on the promise of infinite growth, have become gilded cages. 10 million expatriates, teachers, engineers, and laborers are currently trapped as airspace remains closed and the sea is blocked. Imagine the panic of a father in Dubai, watching the grocery store shelves empty, knowing his exit visa is useless because no planes are flying. The Hormuz Trap isn't just about oil. It is about the sudden, terrifying realization that the future can be canceled in a single afternoon. The luxury hotels are now makeshift shelters, and the silence in the world's busiest airports is a haunting reminder that even the greatest empires are at the mercy of 21 miles of water. From the White House, the tone has shifted from surgical intervention to a total demand for surrender. President Trump has introduced what insiders call the MEGA doctrine, Make Iran Great Again, an ultimatum that demands the unconditional opening of the strait and the total dismantling of the IRGC's naval wing. But the rhetoric is meeting a hard wall of reality. The president is facing immense domestic pressure as gas prices at American pumps hit $7 a gallon. The human emotion here is one of anger and exhaustion. A public that was told this would be quick and easy is now seeing the long-term price tag. For the first time, the America First policy is being tested by a world that is inextricably linked by the very oil it is trying to move away from.
48 hours ago, a U.S. nuclear submarine intercepted and sank the Iris Dina, one of Iran's most modern warships. In the West, it was hailed as a tactical victory, but in the streets of the region, the images of the sinking ship and the young sailors lost with it have become a powerful symbol of resistance. The human tragedy of naval warfare is that when a ship goes down, there is no retreat. This event has hardened the resolve of the IRGC naval commanders, who now see themselves as martyrs in a final battle. The Hormuz Trap has become a matter of honor, and as any historian will tell you, when honor becomes more important than survival, the war becomes impossible to stop.
In a desperate attempt to keep the European economy from total freezing, the coalition has reportedly signed a secret waiver with Moscow. Russia is now allowed to bypass certain sanctions to flood the market with oil, provided they stay neutral in the Iran conflict. The irony is thick. To stop one adversary, the West is being forced to enrich another. This move has sparked outrage among those who see it as a betrayal of the very global order the U.S. claims to be protecting. The emotion in the European capitals is one of cynical survival, the realization that when the lights go out, morality is the first thing to be rationed.
While the U.S. spends billions on munitions and the Gulf states count their losses, China is playing a masterfully silent game. Beijing has remained officially neutral, but their Silk Road energy pipelines through Central Asia are running at maximum capacity. They are watching the West drain its strategic reserves, while they quietly negotiate with both sides for post-war reconstruction. The human element here is the growing sense of a shift in the shield. People across the Middle East and Asia are beginning to wonder if the era of American protection is over, and if the next century will belong to the power that stayed out of the trap. As we close this briefing, we are left with a single haunting question. Was it worth it? The Hormuz Trap has proven that the global economy is not a solid fortress, but a fragile spiderweb. One snap in the Middle East, and the whole world feels the vibration. We've seen the numbers, we've seen the maps, but the true story of March 2026 is the look in the eyes of the people who realized, too late, that their modern world was built on a foundation of 21 miles of water. Stay with Power Politics as we continue to track the big wave. Subscribe and tell us in the comments, as you see the prices rise and the borders close, do you feel safer tonight, or are you preparing for a world that may never go back to normal?